You know what's wild? The moment you stop desperately trying to hold on to something is the exact moment it starts coming back to you. I'm talking about relationships, opportunities, success, even peace of mind. It's like the universe has this twisted sense of humor where the less you care, the more everything cares about you. And I know that sounds completely backwards, but stick with me because what I'm about to share with you changed everything for me, and it's going to change everything for you too. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how when you're obsessing over a text message, checking your phone every 30 seconds, that person suddenly goes radio silent? But the moment you genuinely move on and stop checking, boom, there's the notification. Or how about job hunting? You send out 100 applications, desperately refreshing your email, and nothing. Then you finally accept another offer and stop caring, and suddenly 3 companies want to interview you. This isn't coincidence. This is the universe showing you one of its most powerful laws, and most people never figure this out. Here's the thing. When you're desperately clinging to something, you're actually pushing it away. Think about it. Desperation has an energy to it, doesn't it? It's heavy, it's needy, it's exhausting, and people can feel that. Opportunities can sense that. Even you can feel it in your own body, that tightness in your chest, that anxiety humming under your skin. You're literally vibrating at the frequency of lack, of not having, of fear. And what does fear attract? More things to be afraid of, more absence, more lack. But when you let go, oh, that's when the magic happens. And I'm not talking about giving up or not caring about anything. I'm talking about releasing that death grip you have on outcomes. I'm talking about loving yourself enough to know that whether that thing works out or not, you're going to be absolutely fine. Better than fine. You're going to be amazing. I learned this the hard way. Believe me. I spent years of my life chasing validation, chasing love, chasing success, thinking that if I just tried harder, wanted it more, pushed more, I'd finally get what I wanted. And you know what happened? I burned myself out. I became someone I didn't even recognize. I was so busy chasing that I forgot to live. I forgot to breathe. I forgot that I was already whole, already enough, already worthy without any of those external things. The turning point came when I was at my lowest. I had been chasing this one particular dream for so long, and it kept slipping through my fingers. One day, I just sat down and said, you know what? I'm done. Not done in a defeated way, but done in a liberated way. I decided that I was going to focus on loving myself, on being present, on enjoying my life exactly as it was right in that moment. I stopped checking if that door was opening. I stopped forcing. I stopped manipulating. I just let go. And do you know what happened within weeks? That exact thing I had been chasing for years showed up. But here's the beautiful part. By the time it arrived, I had changed so much that I didn't even need it anymore to feel complete. I wanted it, sure, but I didn't need it. And that's the difference that changes everything. So let's talk about why this works. Because understanding the mechanism makes it so much easier to apply. When you're in that desperate, attached state, you're coming from a place of lack. Your energy is saying, I don't have this, I need this, I'm incomplete without this. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, just reflects that back to you. It says, oh, you feel incomplete? Let me show you more ways you're incomplete. Because that's your dominant vibration. But when you let go, you shift into a completely different energy. You're saying, I'm already whole. I'm already abundant. I'm already enough. If this thing comes, beautiful. If it doesn't, I'm still complete. That energy is magnetic. That energy is powerful. That energy is what actually attracts everything you've been chasing. Here's another layer to this. When you stop caring so much, you show up differently. Think about it. When you're desperate for someone to like you, you're probably a little awkward, a little try-hard, right? You're not really yourself. But when you genuinely don't care if someone likes you because you already like yourself, you're relaxed, you're authentic, you're magnetic. People are drawn to that confidence. The same goes for opportunities. When you're desperately trying to prove yourself, you come across as insecure. But when you know your worth and you're not attached to the outcome, you show up as powerful, capable, and self-assured. And that's what opens doors. Now, I can hear some of you saying, but doesn't this mean I should just stop trying? Should I just sit on my couch and wait for things to magically appear? No, sweetheart, that's not what this is about at all. This is about inspired action versus desperate action. This is about showing up from a place of fullness rather than emptiness. Let me give you a practical example. Say you want to attract a loving relationship. Desperate action looks like swiping on dating apps for hours, going on dates with people you're not even interested in, constantly asking your friends to set you up, checking your ex's social media, trying to force connections that aren't flowing. That's exhausting, and it comes from fear. Inspired action looks like this. You decide you're already complete. You focus on falling in love with your own life. You do things that make you happy. You become the kind of person you'd want to date. You show up authentically when opportunities arise, but you're not desperately seeking them. You're open, but not attached. And from that place, the right person shows up naturally because you're vibrating at the frequency of love, not need. See the difference? One is chasing, the other is attracting. One is depleting, the other is energizing. So how do you actually do this? How do you let go when everything in you wants to hold on tight? Well, it starts with a decision. You have to decide that your peace is more important than the outcome. You have to decide that your worth isn't dependent on whether this works out. You have to decide that you're going to love yourself through this, no matter what happens. And then you practice. Every time you feel yourself slipping into that desperate energy, that checking, that obsessing, that forcing, you pause, you take a deep breath, you place your hand on your heart and you say, I am already whole. I am already enough. I release this outcome with love. What's meant for me will not miss me. You redirect your energy back to yourself. What can you do right now to nurture yourself? What brings you joy? What makes you feel alive? Pour your energy there. When you catch yourself checking if something has happened yet, redirect. When you notice yourself trying to control or manipulate an outcome, redirect. When you feel that grip of fear, redirect. And here's something powerful. Start noticing where in your body you feel that attachment. Is it in your chest, your stomach, your throat? When you feel it, breathe into it. Imagine that tightness softening. Imagine releasing that grip. Your body holds these patterns, and you can release them physically too. Another thing that really helps is to get clear on why you want what you want. Often, we think we want the thing, but what we really want is the feeling we think that thing will give us. So if you want a relationship, maybe what you really want is to feel loved, seen, and valued. Well, can you give that to yourself right now? Can you love yourself, see yourself, value yourself? When you fill your own cup, you stop desperately seeking others to fill it for you. If you want success, maybe what you really want is to feel proud, accomplished, and secure. Can you acknowledge yourself for how far you've already come? Can you celebrate the small wins? Can you build your own sense of security by trusting yourself? When you give yourself these feelings, you're no longer coming from lack. This is also about trust. Trusting that life is happening for you, not to you. Trusting that if something doesn't work out, it's because something better is coming. Trusting that the universe has your back. And I know that can be hard, especially if you've been disappointed before. But here's what I've learned. Every single time something didn't work out the way I wanted, something better showed up. Every single time. But I couldn't see it in the moment because I was too busy grieving what I thought I needed. So start looking back at your own life. Can you see times when something falling apart actually led to something better? Can you see times when a closed door led you to an open one that was so much more aligned? When you can see this pattern in your own history, it becomes so much easier to trust it in your present and future. Here's something I want you to try today, right after you finish watching this. Pick one thing you've been gripping tightly, just one. It could be a person, a goal, an outcome, a fear, and I want you to write it down. Then I want you to write underneath it, I release this with love. What's meant for me will not miss me. I trust that I am being guided to what's best for me. And then, here's the kicker. I want you to do something today that has absolutely nothing to do with that thing. Something that brings you joy. Something that reminds you that your life is full and rich right now, in this moment. Go for a walk in nature. Call a friend who makes you laugh. Create something. Move your body. Do something kind for yourself. Redirect that energy back to you. The paradox is that the moment you truly let go is the moment you become irresistible. Not just to other people, but to opportunities, to abundance, to everything you've been chasing. Because you're no longer chasing, you're being, you're living, you're whole. And here's the most beautiful part. Even if that specific thing you wanted doesn't come back, you're going to be okay, more than okay, because you've learned how to be complete within yourself. You've learned that your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances. You've learned that you can trust yourself and trust life. And that, my friend, is the real freedom. When you stop caring so much about the outcome, you start caring more about the journey. You start noticing the beauty that's already here. You start feeling grateful for what you have instead of anxious about what you don't. And gratitude? That's the highest vibration there is. That's what magnetizes everything good to you. So yes, stop caring so much. Not because you're giving up, but because you're waking up. You're waking up to the truth that you're already everything you've been searching for. The love you want, it starts with you loving you. The validation you seek, it starts with you validating yourself. The peace you crave, it starts with you releasing the need to control everything. Let go, beautiful soul. Let go and watch everything you've been chasing start chasing you. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust that what's meant for you is already on its way. And your only job is to keep your heart open, your energy high, and your faith strong. Now I want you to do something for me. Take one small action from what we talked about today. Just one. Write that release statement. Do that joyful activity. Practice that breath when you notice yourself gripping. And then come back and leave a comment telling me which one you chose and how it felt. I read every single comment, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this resonated with you, if you felt something shift inside while watching this, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community here of people who are committed to real transformation, who are ready to let go of what's holding them back and step into their power. I post new videos every week with practical tools and real talk about how to create a life you absolutely love. Remember, you are whole, you are worthy, and you are so deeply loved, exactly as you are right now. Everything you need is already within you. Stop chasing and start being. Your life is about to change in ways you can't even imagine yet. I'll see you in the next video. Now go, let go, and watch the magic unfold.